This shop makes over $37,000 per month selling phone cases on Etsy. And there are tons of other stores that are doing the same exact thing. And thanks to the recently released AI tools that we're going to get into in just a second, we're able to make designs just like these and better in a matter of seconds. And Etsy sellers like these are using a specific business model that allows you to get started without any money down or ever touching a piece of inventory. I'm talking about print on demand, which is the business that I've done over $25 million in sales with and ultimately built a brand that I was able to sell. And while it took me several years to achieve that goal, if I had used AI, it would have been probably a lot faster. That's why in this video, we're gonna look at several examples of stores doing this sort of thing so you can see the numbers for yourself. And then I'm gonna walk through setting up a brand new store here with you so you can see the easiest and fastest way to get started with this. First off, you really need to see the earning potential that we're talking about here. So take a look at this product here from a company called Urban Flair that does 83 sales every single month and about $1,760 in revenue. Now, obviously it's not all profit, but we'll get into the profit margins in a second. But the good news is that this is just one product, and you're gonna see here in a minute how we're able to create designs like this in just a few seconds. And as we can see on the design here, it's just a simple butterfly pattern with a vintage styling applied to it. You'd also be interested to learn that this same exact seller has another product that does over $1,600 in sales every month. It's a simple aesthetic sunflower layout that, again, we're able to recreate these very quickly using AI. And then they even have a design that sells a whopping $2,300 every single month. So all three of these listings together, as you can see, do around $5,700 per month in sales, which sounds great, but you're probably wondering, that sounds like a lot of phone cases. Like, I don't want to have to get a warehouse or like print these myself. You'd be exactly right. That would be a lot of work. That's why sellers like these are using what's called print on demand, specifically with a company called Printify. Printify is a white label print on demand supplier, which basically means that they have a large catalog of white label products that we're able to put our own designs on and then sell as our own, which is different than normal drop shipping, where you're basically just buying any junk that you can find on Alibaba and every seller is selling the exact same thing. Print on demand offers us the opportunity to sell completely unique products that buyers can't find anywhere else. It makes us really stand out in the market. So the way it works is that we upload our products into Printify, and when a customer places an order, Printify will print, pack, and ship the order to the end customer. And the best part is that it integrates directly with our Etsy account, which we're gonna set up in a second. So whenever somebody buys from your Etsy store, it's automatically fulfilled by Printify. The reason that Etsy is by far the best place to get started is that it already has 450 million monthly visitors. One of Etsy's 450 million visitors sees your product and likes it, it's automatically fulfilled by Printify, meaning that there's no upfront inventory or cost. The only time we incur any kind of expenses is when a customer actually places an order. So meaning that all that we have to do is pay Printify out of the revenue that we've already generated. So the simple fact that print on demand requires no upfront inventory or cash to get started makes it by far the best e-commerce business to get started with. Now, it's just my personal opinion, but I've done just about every type of e-commerce business out there. And if I were to start all over again, this one would be the way that I would go. Now, there's certainly gonna be people out there that say, oh, print on demand is saturated, like everyone's doing it. They'd be right. There are a lot of print on demand sellers, especially nowadays when AI is making it more and more accessible. But the reason that there's so many print on demand sellers is that the demand is continuing to grow as well. It's growing at a disproportionate rate to the number of sellers that are entering the market. Like, take a look at this chart, for example, and you can see that the print on demand is forecasted to continue to grow at 20 to 30% compounding annually up to 2030, meaning that there's going to be massive growth for basically the next decade. So if we start a print on demand brand now, it's still gonna be a great place to be 6, 7, 8 years from now. And just to give you even more proof, here's another iPhone case print on demand brand called Gold Star Line, who has done $1.55 million in monthly sales. And we can see here that they've been in business for about 46 months. So if we divide their lifetime sales by 46, we get $48,000 roughly every single month. Then we can assume they have roughly a 50% profit margin after factoring for Etsy fees and Printify fulfillment, which brings them to $24,227 every single month in profit. But now let's get into the good stuff and start making some designs in AI. Now, the first thing we want to do to have all our ducks in a row is create a free Gmail account for our business. We want to do this to keep our personal and business life separate, and it's free and easy to do, so I recommend taking a minute to do it now. Next, you're going to go to Etsy.com and scroll all the way down to the bottom and click the Start Selling with Etsy button. And you're going to set up a free account using the business email that we just set up. And then you're going to go to the Printify link in the description to start your free trial for Printify. I've done more detailed trainings on how to set up these accounts, but they're honestly pretty straightforward. So once you get to the point where your Printify account is set up, you want to go to the top right-hand corner and integrate it with your Etsy account. And once you've done this, you've effectively merged your Printify and Etsy accounts together. So anytime you get a sale through Etsy, it'll be automatically fulfilled from Printify. And also when you upload new products to Printify, they'll be published to Etsy. Now let's get into the fun stuff, which is creating AI designs using an AI called MidJourney, which if you never used MidJourney before and it seems overwhelming, don't worry, it's pretty straightforward. The way that it works is to take strings of text called prompts and turns it into images. Basically, we can type in anything we can imagine, it'll do its best to generate it. And it's gotten pretty darn good in recent versions. And the best part is that while it's capable of creating some amazing things, we're able to harness the amazing potential that it has and get it to create designs that are specific for iPhone cases. Designs that are pretty much guaranteed to sell because we've already seen what works in the market. Firstly, to get started with MidJourney, you're gonna need a Discord account because that's how you're able to use the software. But once you've done that, you're gonna go to midjourney.com and you're gonna go to the join beta. You're gonna set up an account and link it with your Discord account. Once you do that, you're able to join their Discord server where you're gonna get dropped into a pretty overwhelming chat room of just hundreds, if not thousands of people posting tens of thousands of designs. It's basically everyone in that chat room who's using MidJourney, which they have over 10 million users at this point. So while that's great for getting inspiration, we want to create our own server. So you can do that just by clicking the plus sign on the left and naming it whatever you want. Then we're gonna go back over to the MidJourney chat room and click on the MidJourney bot. Then you're given the option to add it to a server and you're just gonna select whatever server you just set up. Now we're given a clean slate and a one-on-one conversation where we can work in peace and quiet with the MidJourney bot. And then the way it works is you just type /imagine and anything you can think of, and MidJourney will do its best to generate that for you. This is the crux of everything, that like having a good prompt makes or breaks this entire business. But there's a little hack that not a lot of people know about that can allow us to jumpstart all of that. Because a good prompt can be hundreds, if not thousands of characters long, have dozens of descriptors. Even then, you might still be somewhat unhappy with the result. But a hack that not a lot of people know about is we're able to get MidJourney to basically give us the prompt we should be using. So if we wanted to create something similar to this butterfly phone case that's done over $80,000 in sales, we just take a screenshot of it and save it to our desktop, and then we ask MidJourney to describe it for us. And then what it's gonna do is generate 4 different prompts that we can use to hopefully generate something pretty similar. And as you can see, it generates some really good options, but they're not quite perfect. Sometimes it generates like a phone case, which we don't want. What we wanna do is just take a look at each of the descriptors that it gives in those 4 prompts and make our own, basically. Then we're gonna re-enter that prompt and see what it gives us. And with the images that it's generating for us, it gives us a couple of options below it. Number 1 is the re-roll option, which basically creates variations of that same image. And number 2 is the upscale button, which upscaling is basically just choosing which one we like the best, and it'll give us a higher res version of that file. And using this pattern prompt, it creates images that look really good on phone cases. So if you say I like this image here, then I just click on it and choose download to desktop. Then I'm gonna go back over to my Printify account and go up to the product catalog where I can choose one of the phone cases. Then once I navigate to one of the phone cases, I'm gonna click the Start Designing button. Then I'm gonna use Printify's drag and drop design uploader to position it how I'd like it on the phone. So as you can see, I'm just gonna drag it so that it takes up as much of this design space as possible. And then I can even click this Create Pattern button if I want. And then up here in the top right hand corner, it gives me the option to choose different phone sizes. So there's a lot of different variations. I'm just gonna do the most recent ones so that I don't have iPhone 6 on my Etsy listing. Once I'm happy with how the design looks on the product, then I'm gonna click the Save Product button. Then on this next screen, we're able to look at the mockups that Printify has generated for us. And as you can see, the mockups look really good. The phone case looks super lifelike, which is perfect for our Etsy listings. Then the next thing we can do on this page is update our product title and description, which I'm not a professional writer, so for this, I'm just gonna use ChatGPT. So I'm just gonna ask it to generate a optimized product title and description, and then I'm just going to copy them over to my Printify product. Then the last step is to update our pricing, which is at the very bottom. I typically recommend doing around 50% at the very least to give you room for extra margin in like unexpected expenses, Etsy fees, which normally are around like 5-6% in total, and then you're good to go. You can click save the draft or publish product. That's pretty much it. We could stop there, but the key to being successful with this business is not just publishing 1, 2, or 5, or even 10 products. It's in volume. Learning what types of products are doing well and iterating on those, which even with the powers of AI, it can still be a pretty time-consuming process, which is why I'm excited to announce a new software that we're creating that is going to do exactly that. We're basically making a MidJourney, but specifically for print on demand. And you can see a demo of it here, but basically you're gonna select the type of product that you wanna create designs for, enter 1 or 2 words just describing, and our custom trained models that are specifically honed for designs of that product type will spit out amazing, perfect designs for whatever print-on-demand product you selected. And then it gets better because these titles that you see there, it generated those as well, using AI again. So you don't have to do any of that. And then my personal favorite part is it even does the Printify upload process for you. So you can see here that just by clicking a button, it publishes them to my Printify account. They're up and ready to begin selling like that. The last hidden feature is if you click on one of the products, it's even generated the product description, which is pretty amazing. I can say confidently from my past print-on-demand businesses that every time we launched new products, our sales always saw a spike. And if we had just consistently continued to publish new products and did nothing else, we would have a great business. The problem was that would take a lot of time and money and effort. So this software is my attempt at solving that problem for people like you. I'm super excited about this personally, but let me know in the comment section what you think. Am I just a print-on-demand nerd and nobody's gonna want this, or are you gonna try it out? Let me know in the comment section and I'll send you a link to sign up. And other than that, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.